Hey everybody, it's John, owner of The Simplest Biz. Go to thesimplestbiz.com or thepalletcourse.com if you want more information about the pallet business, and we can go from there. But I wanted to cover today something pretty important, and I see this all the time. In a nutshell, knowing where pallets are and where they're going is the tip of the iceberg. And let me explain why, so we don't run into a situation where you screw up a deal before you know what you need to know. Okay. When I walk into a warehouse, there's literally 10 different things, or a business that I'm dealing with for supplier and buyer. There's like 10 different things that I am trying to pay attention to that have to do how I'm going to set this deal up. All the deals are different in a lot of ways, because there's different situations, different scenarios, different size businesses, different problems for a supplier, different problems for a buyer that we have to be able to recognize. And that's what the training is for. You can know where every pallet is in your town, and you can know even buyers who they are, but structuring the deal in a way to where you're not putting yourself in a corner is a whole different animal. In addition, when you have a situation where you are having to put a deal together, there's a way of going about this where you're not painting yourself in a corner and making it a situation where you're screwing the deal up to begin with, because you're not being able to fulfill it in a way and set the terms up in a way in the beginning to make it a viable, reoccurring revenue stream. Okay, to explain it a little further. Also, you going in there without knowledge about the pallet business or the setup that we deal with, whether it be warehouses and the types of businesses we deal with, if you don't, as an example, if you don't know the lingo or the acronyms that we have to know, or the styles of pallets, and the person you're talking with before you, let's say you go in there without the training, you will come across as a rookie. You will come across as a fly-by-nighter. In this industry, there are fly-by-nighters, meaning there are scavengers out there that don't treat this like a business. The issue that takes place is the businesses in turn have they look at them a little funny, right? Because they've been burned by them at some point in time, and they want to deal with somebody who knows their stuff, knows the situation, knows the flow of their business, knows what's going on in that area that they're working in, whether it be a supplier or a buyer, knows which questions to ask, knows which answers to have based on how they answer, knows the best way to make it a win-win-win for the supplier, the buyer, and you simultaneously, because that does have to happen. In each side of the equation, whether it be the supplier or buyer, there's specific things that I teach in the training and ways to exactly things to say, and exactly questions to ask, and exactly having what answers you need to have to, based on the way they answer, to set the deal up in the correct manner. Over and over again, I have people, because I do call it the simplest biz, go out there and dip their toe in the water, and they end up screwing a deal up. A deal that could be worth $60,000, $100,000 a year, just one deal. And they've gotten off on the wrong foot with the business right off the get-go, because somebody's gone out there before they knew what they needed to know. So it's important to understand that knowing where pallets are and knowing where pallets going is just a part of the equation. And another thing, the simple part of this business is, once you have the knowledge to set these accounts up the right way and assist the business and the supplier and the buyer in the right way, then you are able to get to that simple part where you are basically an Uber driver for the pallets. But don't put the cart before the horse. Know your stuff. Know how to help these businesses out the right way. Know how to impress these businesses in a way that they haven't been impressed before. Know how to separate yourself from the pretty crappy competition. But that comes with knowledge. It comes with knowing how to evaluate a situation and knowing how to structure the deal in a way with exact verbiage, for one, to make your life easier, and two, make that win-win-win situation, because all three have got to win: the supplier, the buyer, and yourself. All right, we're not ever leaving you out of the equation. I just wanted to make sure people understand this, because I see it all the time, where you just go pick up some pallets behind Walmart and go take them somewhere, and if you do not have secure supply, and you are not setting the deal up on the supply side where you have recurring, and the contract is set up in a way, or the deal set up in a way to where you're really helping this business in ways of not just getting the pallets out of there, but other things that come into play that you'll learn in the training, you will put yourself in a position where you're always stressed out, because you are always having to hunt down more and more items because you burned supply, right? And same thing goes for the buyer. If you are not being consistent, if you are not solving other problems that are going on in that warehouse that you need to know about, if you're not assisting with them for other items as well, and creating other revenue streams, and knowing things about that warehouse or that business we're dealing with in a way to where we can help them outside of the pallet game, so you can tether yourself to them in many different ways, you're missing the point. You're missing an opportunity to knock their socks off. You're missing an opportunity for them to come up and give you a bear hug from a burly, warehouse manager, because finally they have somebody that knows what their situation is, knows their pain points, knows solutions that can help them out. Some things they don't even notice. There's a lot of things that come into play that I cover in the training, to where we are a complete operation for these businesses. So in layman's terms, don't half-ass this, okay? There's more to it that you need to know to get you to the simplest part of the biz, which once you set it up right, it's very simple at that point. But set it up right to begin with, okay? That's all I wanted to say today, and y'all have a good one, and I hope to see you soon. SimplestBiz.com, thepalletcourse.com, either one of those links. Set up appointment, have a chat with us, and ask your questions. Or there's a link in this video if you want to if you've seen enough and you're ready to get the course, scroll down to the bottom of the description, and there's a link to get the course that way as well. All right, y'all have a good one.